Alright guys, welcome back. Here we are the day after we had the little fiasco yesterday with my alternator going out on me. And well, the new one came in the mail today. It's a Meacham 240 amp alternator, and we're going to get to replacing it. As you can see, I already have the hot side charge pipe off and the filter pipe off. They're both sitting right there. While the engine's cooling, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the negative terminals on the batteries, and then we're going to get to taking off this alternator here. Now, one thing I want to do that I don't have right now is I want to run a ground cable directly from the alternator to the battery, but I don't have enough cable right now. I got to order some. So I'm just going to make sure that my bracket here I built is nice and sanded, so I have a good metal to metal connection on the top and the bottom, because the block is grounded in several places. So hopefully that will take care of that until I can get a new grounding cable. Now, this alternator comes with a new eyelet here, and then it comes with an adapter for the forward plug, and then it adapts it to this style plug here. So I got to do all that, and one thing I got to do to make this fit is I got to drill these holes out just a tad bigger because they're oblonged to fit the forward bolts, but I had just regular grade 8 bolts in there instead of the Ford ones. So that's one thing I got to do, but that won't be too hard. So I'm going to go ahead and get the disconnect in the batteries, and then we'll see about getting this alternator off.
First off, to get this off, I'm going to take the 10mm bolt off here. This is the main battery, positive battery cable. Pretty simple to get these Ford alternators off, thankfully. You don't have to get a 1/2-inch drive ratchet to get the pulley off, the belt off. I'm going to take that off since I have the ground disconnected. There we go. Alright, now we can work on getting the alternator bolts out. And as you can see, the terminals are still brand new on this thing. I mean, this thing probably only has 1,000 miles on it. Maybe more, I did a lot of driving, but yeah, so I'm pretty disappointed when I having to change this out, but you know, it is what it is, and thankfully I had a new one on the way. I'll take one out, buddy. Yeah, they're on time lapse. This is sandpaper. Oh, this is sandpaper.
Alright guys, we got the alternator on there. I need to put the serpentine belt back on and connect the batteries, and then we're going to fire it up before I put the intake and the charge pipe back on. So let's get that done, and then we'll get her fired up and see how good it works. All right, we got the 6.2 liter Vortex to save the day. Pretty sad when the gas motor has an alternator that's a lot larger than the factory one that comes on the Power Stroke, but you know, what can you do about it? We got her hooked up. We're gonna see if it'll fire up here in a second. Now, some future upgrades I'm gonna do is this cable here is the one going to the alternator. I'm gonna upgrade that to a 4.0 AUG. And I'm gonna upgrade every battery cable on here to a 4.0 AUG. And I'm gonna do better terminals here and here. I'm gonna go straight across here. Right now, this one's just going to the block, and this one's just going to the frame. And then off of the block, I've got it going back to the frame. And then I've got one of these coming from the frame straight to the transmission adapter plate bolt. But I want to go from here to here with a 4.0 AUG, and then from here to here with 4.0 AUG, and then from here to the starter with a 4.0. I think this is a 1.0 AUG now. But I'm going to go with the biggest I can and put some big terminals on here. Just to make everything nicer and have a lot more amperage I can run through there. So let's go over here and see if this sucker will fire up. Fired right up. I don't have a battery light, so that's good. It's a lot better than it was before. As soon as the phone comes on, because it was disconnected from the battery, we'll check the voltage. Now my radio is all screwed up and stuff, so that sucks. But my gauges are all messed up. Color, I like the white. So let's go out and check the serpentine belt. Hot. Woo. I don't like that. Let's see what the voltage is at here. Sorry, my beautiful wife on the background there. Come on. The screen's dirty. Day now. Well, we're at 13.5. That's a lot better than it was, but I don't have any check battery gauges on it. Look at that. Up to 13.8, so that's good. But that cable is getting hot out there, so I need to go check on it. Well, guys, we've been defeated. The alternator puts out too many amps for the original battery wire that went to the stock alternator, so it's just getting extremely hot. So I'm not gonna be able to do anything with it till I get some new cable in here. I'm gonna go inside and order some 4.0 AUG red and black cable and some connectors, and get it on the way so I can get this truck back on the road. So I can't drive it. I still got to move that excavator, so I'm gonna go call my dad and have him and ask and see if I can use his truck. He's got an 06 Dodge 3500 automatic. It's got 240 or 50,000 miles, and it's only had one transmission put in it. It lasted 220,000 miles before it finally went out, and the only reason it went out was the heat exchanger popped, so it mixed the coolant and transmission fluid, and that trashed the transmission. But anyways, you guys get to see it, and we'll have another day for the Ford. It'll come back as soon as I get some larger battery cable, so I'm kind of bummed, but I had a theory it might do that, and on the instructions it said that I'd have to upgrade the battery cable, but I was hoping it would be just fine to get me through the day so I could go get the excavator moved, but apparently not. So anyways, I'm gonna close this video out here, and hope you enjoyed the video and try not to make the mistake I just did. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, so last night I stayed up till 11:30 and got everything working properly. Went to O'Reilly's and got some 2.0 AUG cable and some eyelet clips, and ran everything like I should have in the first place before I even tried to start the truck. I should have done this, but I got ballsy and it didn't pay off. So it looks pretty bad at the moment. I got to come back and make it look nice. But this is the original alternator wire. I got to pull it out of the harness, and then I'm gonna put some sheathing over the top of this and heat shrink here and here and make everything look nice like it should. But I have the positive and negative running right through here and then over to the battery and going right there. Like I said, it's not perfect right now, but I needed to get the truck going, and it works as it should. So in the near future, I'm going to order the new battery terminals that has they're big billet aluminum ones. They're going to look really nice, and then these will be all heat shrinked and routed much better. But anyways, it works, and I got 14.7 volts at idle, so it's perfect. I'm happy with that. And if any of you need alternate or have alternators issues with your 6.0s, or you're thinking about doing the 6.0 alternator on the Cummins, if you're doing a Cummins swap, I highly recommend the Meacham 240 amp. I got it from Diesel Power Products. I think it was like $340, and had it 2 or 3 days. And it's a pretty simple install, other than running the bigger cables, which needed to be done anyways. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and maybe y'all learned something. And don't make the same mistake I did. Go ahead and upgrade the cables when you go to a larger alternator.